So do keywords still matter on YouTube in 2025? Well, by the end of this video, you'll be able to make your own decision because I'm going to give you a full breakdown of all the information that you might not be aware of when it comes to keywords in the first place. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see right here, it says what you'll learn in this video. Do keywords still matter in 2025? I'm going to answer that question. Next thing, how YouTube really uses keywords right now, right? I want to go into that. And then right here, the updated keyword strategy that gets your videos found. So if you decide, okay, these are actually beneficial for you, then I'm going to show you how you can benefit from them. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. So as you can see right here, it says point number one, keywords still matter, but context is king. I know you probably just said, okay, what's the point of me continuing to watching this video? Well, the reason why is because I'm going to break this down so that you actually understand whether they're significant or not, right? So don't go anywhere. All right, so here we go. So why they still matter in the first place. So YouTube still uses keywords to understand your video, but the difference now is that they use contextual signals. They don't allow you to just keyword stuff. And if you're not aware of what keyword stuffing is, that's where you literally just take any keyword that you want to rank for or show up for, and you just smash it into your description box. Now, back in the days when YouTube was a completely different platform, you used to be able to just smash your keywords in there and your description wouldn't make any sense at all. It would just be a whole bunch of keywords. And I still see people do it today, right? But it just flat out doesn't work. And then on top of that, YouTube actually punishes you when they recognize that going on, right? And then of course that ultimately ends up with you not getting the results that you want. All right, so let's continue. So now when we go down here, it says how keywords work right now. So this is the section where I pretty much go over the places that YouTube analyzes your keywords, right? So number one right here, it says title. This little blurb right here, this comes directly from YouTube. You can actually see this exact same thing. If you go into any one of your videos, you hit the pencil and you look at the details, go to your title and you want to look for this little question mark that's right above your title, right? So that's where this comes from. So a catchy title can help you hook viewers when you create video titles. It's a good idea to include keywords your audience is likely to use when looking for videos like yours. So that's YouTube right there telling you you want to use keywords in your description specific to your audience because it's going to benefit you, right? So they literally said it's a good idea. Now let's go to the next one. They also look for keywords within your description, but let's go into what they say. So writing descriptions with keywords can help viewers find your videos more easily through search. So once again, keywords, they're telling you that you should put them in there, but they go even deeper, right? And I like that they did this. So you can see right here, it says you can give an overview of your video and place keywords in the beginning of your description. So not only did they say put them in your description, but they also said put them at the beginning of your description. Right? This is why I always say, if you want to put 50 to 100 characters, you want to make sure that your keywords are within there. All right. All right. So let's go to the next thing they look at. Captions, subtitles, transcripts. So whether you let YouTube do it for you, where they're auto-generated, or you actually upload them. Now, typically people like me who are really deep into SEO like that, we typically upload our own because sometimes, although YouTube does a fairly good job with it, sometimes you'll have it saying things that you might not be saying in your video, and that might not benefit you as much. All right. So what I do is I actually upload them from time to time. Sometimes I use auto-generated, but it just really depends on how I feel. All right, so now you can see right here, this photo, this is just me showing you, hey, YouTube does it for you, right? That's why you see automatic captions. And then right here, this is the upload option. So I can upload the file, and then that way I'll have all of my stuff in there the way I want it. And you can do the same exact thing. All right, so now, what is the point of me showing you all those? Well, the title, your description, and also your captions and all of that stuff, all of that is considered in this process, right? But what YouTube does now in today's algorithm, they attach that with viewer behavior, right? So now when they see, okay, you got that 100% SEO score, and I see people say this all the time. They be like, I got a 100% SEO score, but I'm not showing up for number one, or I'm not getting the results that I'm looking for. Well, what YouTube does is they look at this side, which is the metadata side, right? You're giving them all of that stuff. But then over here, when somebody clicks your video, do they actually continue watching your video, or do they immediately jump off your video, right? So they're looking also at the performance. Do they click? Do they watch? And do they engage? Because a person can watch your video all the way through, but then when they get to the video, nothing happens. They don't hit the like button, they don't comment, and they don't share. So then YouTube is like, okay, they watched it all the way through, but it's kind of like, what's really going on? And then what they'll do is they'll test again and show your content to that person again. And if the same thing is happening, it's not going to benefit you at all. All right. So I know I kind of went a little bit deep on that, but all of that stuff is important for you to understand when it comes to keywords. All right. So you can kind of already see keywords have significant relevance, although it's a lot of people out there that are saying keywords don't matter at all. You shouldn't pay attention to them. You shouldn't put keywords inside of your tags or any of that stuff. Please don't listen to that stuff. Please don't listen to that stuff. And the next time that happens, another thing I'll recommend you do is look at the size of that person's channel that's telling you that, and then make your decision based on that. This person already has a huge audience, so they don't really have to use those same rules that like a small creator or somebody who's not to that, capacity, they don't have to do that, right? So they'll tell you that, and they may not be trying to do any harm, but it's just, I see it and I hear it and I'm like, no, that's not how that works, right? You have an audience that you've built over these years, so that doesn't really benefit the other person. All right, so let me get off that. Let's continue. Okay, so now we're gonna move into point number 2. So with point number 2, your title, your descriptions, and your scripts must work together. So this kind of leans into what I was talking about earlier with the titles, the descriptions, and the captions, because YouTube can now look at everything that's going on in your video. It's not just the metadata that you give it, and it's not just the captions, subtitles, and all that. They can understand what's going on in your video. This actually is a tool out there like the Google Vision AI, something like that, where it can literally analyze what's going on in your thumbnail, and then they even got where it's deeper, where they can analyze what's actually in your video as well. It's pretty crazy, right? So now that it can do that, it can tie everything together, and then the system just kind of flows, right? All right, so now let's go into how you can actually do this, right? Now we're gonna get into, now that you got an understanding, like they have some significance, now we're gonna go into how you can actually start to apply this to actually get more visibility on your channel, all right? And if you wanna know how you can go deep on this stuff, where we can actually map this stuff out together, and also your content strategy, I have my program down below. You can go ahead and click the first link. That'll allow you to set up some custom plans, right? So, everybody's different, right? So if you get a personalized content strategy and you get a personalized SEO strategy, then that's going to benefit you a lot more, because it's going to be bringing in the right audience. So go ahead and check that link out. It'll give you all the details about the program. And if that sounds like, you want to move forward, then obviously we'll reach out. We'll have a communication. All right. All right. So let's continue. So right here, it says title. Include your primary keyword early in the title. So you see that early word comes back. So YouTube said you want to include your keywords early in your description. So you want to do the exact same thing in your title as well. So right here, this is an example of one of my videos. So you see it says how to share your YouTube channel link. That yellow part that's highlighted, that is the keyword that I'm trying to rank for. So one thing to pay attention there is that it's kind of long, right? It's quite a few words. How to share, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words. So the longer your keyword is, it typically leans into lower competition. Okay. All right. So now this second part right here, we're going to go deep on this too, but the second part is meant for the human connection. So keyword, human connection. And if your keyword is at the front, then that gives you more relevancy. And if you were to actually go on YouTube right now, type in any search term and then click on the filter box, it's going to automatically show you that relevance is what YouTube ranks videos based off. All right. All right, so then you can see right here, here's the exact video, how to share your YouTube channel link so you actually get subs. So you can see this video got 34,000 views from 2 years ago, and it still continues to get views. I think it's still ranking #1 right now at this particular time. All right, so now let's go to the description. So you want to use natural language, okay? You want to include your primary keyword and your variations. So if you look at the description of this video right now, you're going to see this exact blurb right down in there. So are keywords still important for YouTube SEO in 2025, Or has the algorithm completely changed the game? Well, in this video, we're breaking down the truth about how YouTube ranks videos in search in 2025 and whether keywords still play a role in your ranking strategy. So you see how that actually makes sense. It's not like how back in the days where people would literally just smash keywords in there or write these sentences that didn't make any sense at all, and then they just put it in there and it would benefit them then, but it doesn't benefit them so much more in 2025 and beyond. All right, so now the script. So with your script, right, you want to say your keyword within the first 30 seconds because you've already given YouTube all of the analytical data, right? Well, the metadata, not the analytical data, but you're giving them all of the metadata. And then you say that in your words. So now they understand that, okay, that's what this video is really about. So it's getting a little bit deeper. And then the captions and the transcripts, right? So I kind of hit on that a little bit earlier. But if you look at this picture right here, this right here is inside of my editing software, which is Descript. And I can literally just, copy to clipboard here, or I can just hit export and then I can upload it to YouTube. And this is how I'm actually able to do it every single time I upload my video. All right, so let's move on. So point number 3. This is what I was talking about earlier, right? When you create your titles, this is how you want to do it. This is what I'm about to break down. So first thing we got to understand is that keywords are going to get you indexed, okay? This tells YouTube, okay, this is the people that this person wants to show up in front of. With the keyword, you're telling them, okay, I want the search traffic for this, okay? Now, the viewer behavior is what gets you ranked and recommended. Right, so this is what I was talking about earlier, combining the two. That's the difference between the old days on YouTube and right now, okay? All right, so let's go to how you do it. Use keywords for search visibility, right? So an example would be, let's say this is my keyword right here, YouTube SEO 2025. I'm going to use that in my title so that I get the search traffic, right? But then if you go right here, when it comes to my title, we want to write titles for humans, not algorithms, right? So how do we do that? How do we take this keyword right here and turn it into a title that speaks more to the human? Well, if you look at the example I give you here, it says, the truth about YouTube SEO in 2025, what works now? You see, this is a lot more intriguing than if I just use this right here in my title, right? So you got to understand, okay, how can I use my keyword in a way where it's beneficial for when a person looks at it, they're like, oh yeah, I got to click on that, versus they look at that boring YouTube SEO 2025, like it's not that intriguing. All right, so let's continue on from there. Okay, so point number 4. This is the new keyword strategy for 2025. This is how I go about doing things, all right? Okay, so why does the strategy work? Well, you can see right here, it blends the SEO fundamentals from way back when and the algorithm priorities for today. Okay, now let's go down to the 3-part video ranking system. All right, so I break this down into 3 phases. So you got pre-upload SEO, which is what I call the setup. So the keyword research, you can use any keyword tool out there. I use them just so I can see if a keyword gets demand at all. Right? So a lot of the keywords tools, they have like, different numbers. One might say this keyword gets 1,000 searches a month. This keyword gets 500. You might look on another tool. It might say it only gets 50, right? What I'm looking for is it showing up at all? And then I take that and then I go confirm it on YouTube. If I type it in and it automatically populates, boom, I've proved that it has demand. That's the only reason I use keywords tools, all right? All right, so let's continue. So when I do this, I use long tail keywords. Now, I kind of hit on this a little bit earlier, but remember I was talking about how many words there actually is in this keyword. The more words you have in your keywords, it's typically lower competition. Now let's go to the in-video SEO, right? So this is what I like to call the delivery, right? Because this is you delivering the content. All right, so now when you look right here, it says, say the keyword in the first 30 seconds. We already hit on it, right? Because this is delivery. Now, in your video, you want to also mention it naturally throughout your content. See, back in the days, what a lot of people would do is they would just keep saying the keyword over and over to try to game the system. And YouTube caught up on that, and now they've stopped a lot of that, and that's where we are today. All right, so right here it says include visual cues or text overlays. Now, why does this help big time? Okay, so YouTube, as I was saying earlier, it can look at what's going on in your video. So if I have certain text popping up on the screen and it's saying something specific to the topic, that's giving them more context about what the video is about based on what's popping up on the screen and what they see in the video. So this is why it's important to, like, if you're using B-roll and all this stuff, make sure that it's relevant to what you're talking about inside of the video. All right, so let's move on to post-upload SEO. Okay, this is what I call the push. Now, this part can be a little bit controversial because some people say you shouldn't push your stuff out to other platforms and all of this stuff. Let me give you the strategy behind this. Most people, when they do that, when they put it on another platform, the audience that they have on the other platform is not congruent with the audience that they have on their YouTube channel. But if the audience was the same audience or somewhat of the same person, then it would be beneficial for you to share it on the other platform. That's my advice for if you are going to be sharing it out to other platforms. So if you look here, it says promote to your email list, social media, or relevant communities. Now, if anybody that's watching this video have been on my channel for quite a while, or maybe you've opted into some of the lead magnets I have, you're gonna notice that I send emails out to my list that go to some of my videos and offers and different things, right? Sometimes it's just to inspire my people on my list to keep going. So it's different ways to go about it, but you have to make sure that the people that are on the other platform are congruent with what you talk about on your channel, okay? All right, and then this right here is just triggering early engagement with questions. So I either like to do this with pinned comments, right? Because you can put a question in your pinned comment to kind of get people to engage, or you can just ask a question inside of your video. That works, but of course you got to build value to where a person feels like they can trust you and they want to engage with you, right? So it's important to really show who you are in your content so that way people can like really connect with you. All right, and then obviously we talked about the likes, the comments, and shares, right? When they watch your video, are they doing something on your video, or are they just sitting watching your video and then going to the next video without doing anything? That right there is extremely important. Okay, and then I have a specific strategy for this, which is where you can force the algorithm to actually recommend more and more of your videos, because that part is important. I want to paint this out. Let's say you rank a video #1. And then you got multiple videos. It's not like a one-off video. You got multiple videos where you just keep having YouTube force them to show your videos. I have a specific video that walks you through that entire strategy, and I'll go ahead and link that down below. Hopefully I remember. Sometimes I get a little bit busy, but if you want that, I will put it down below. Just put it in the comments, say, hey, you didn't put it in there, and I'll be sure to actually put that in there. But that's what this right here talks about. Force binge watching. So you can use playlists and end screens. All right, so hopefully you got some value from this video, and if you did, definitely go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Also, drop me a comment down below letting me know if this video was helpful, if you want me to dive a little bit deeper into some of these things or create even more videos, then definitely go ahead and drop that down below. And with that being said, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.